That's where Applied Digital is at, and that's where that
Data center.
data processing, thank you, is coming into it, and basically, Allendale Township had ordinances, but Applied Digital looked at their ordinances and went, this ain't worth anything, and circumvented just about everything they tried to do. Applied Digital came in and forced that township to do things that they didn't want to do, shouldn't have to do. To the effect where the city of Allendale took it upon themselves as to lollipop the city limits onto this land that's in this township. So now the township's not going to have that for a tax base anymore. It's going to go to the city. So be cautious about when people are talking about these new developments coming in, whether it be wind or solar, renewable energy or any of that stuff, pipelines, all that stuff. If you got your zoning, keep your zoning. Don't give it up. But work together. Work with the county. I know you don't like that word, but work with the county, because a lot of times ordinances that apply to us at township level apply to them also. And we want to work together, like in Burley County with Carbon Solutions, when they tried to come through with that carbon park line and stuff like that. The counties got behind, the county reached out to the townships, and the townships reached out to the county, and we worked together to try and stop these things as best as possible. So I just wanted to throw that caveat. Thanks.
I'm going to recognize Jim Albright, Tax Commissioner, if you want to say something.
One of the big issues with our new legislation this year, there will no longer be preliminary tax statements going out. It'll just be your regular tax statement in December. But what has changed now is there's an assessment notice that will go out to everybody, to every parcel that is in Kidder County. And it just says what your previous year's assessment is and what the new assessment will be. And it will also have your equalization dates on it. So what I need from everybody is, from each township, is when your equalization is going to be. And I have to have them basically in February. So when I mail this out in March, because I still have to do the 15-day notice as, like everything else, for every township. And I guess it'll be like the meetings that were, for your budget meetings. I guess if they're not there just won't be anything, and I won't be responsible for them. It'll be you guys that have to explain to your township people why you didn't give me a meeting time. That's basically the best thing I can say. What I need from all the township officers is I need your equalization meeting time immediately, as soon as you can give them to me.
Thank you.
We can have them all the way through April, can't we?
But I have to have a date,
Yeah, I
because
know.
I have to send this notice out.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
anytime in April, yes.
Yeah, you can have it anytime in April.
Yep.
And you can set a date that if it's bad weather, or you can't do it, you can change it, but I still have to have a date, for this notice to be sent out.
That's one of the things that we fought for with the legislation is to make the annual meeting any date in March, the tax equalization meeting any date in April. But we highly recommend you have a primary date and you have an alternate date for both of them. And they both have to have a 10-day notice in the local newspaper or the county newspaper, whichever it happens to be.
So putting it in the newspaper, you still gotta have it.
I have to have, because by century code, I have to send this notice out.
Do you want it by February 28th or February 15th?
Let's say 15th.
Okay, you guys.
We'll have to send letters out to them.
I'll send something out to the chairman of each, or the clerk or somebody that'll,
You're going to do it?
I will,
then?
yes.
Okay.
But if you can get it to me as soon as you can, I've had, townships already and cities, if you want the best date and the best time, you do them early, so it's.
Okay. Lauren, did you have something to address? Or you got there?
I guess in my world, just FYI, so that for the June storm, the presidential disaster declaration was made, so FEMA funds are available for eligible damage from that June storm. And we're at the point in the process now where I'm kind of polishing the information as far as like the dimensions of the damaged area and the cost to repair and stuff like that. I think I have all of the eligible sites. But you know, if you're one of those sites, you know, just work with me. Everybody's been really good and helpful on that. The other thing, so one problem I have run into is there have been some kind of like short fuse things, like where, say, following that June storm, where the state, you know, contacts me and says, oh, hey, we need a damage assessment for your county, which determines the county's eligibility for FEMA funds, right? And they basically need that back in, it's a week to 10 days or something like that. And I don't have any way to send out an email to all the townships. I don't have an email list for the townships. And so, like, I have to contact them all individually. That's 40 phone calls. You know, maybe half the time you don't get the person, you're calling multiple times, you're calling the next person on the list and stuff. It's very inefficient. It's very difficult to get anything done in on a short notice in a short period of time. And so, I guess the moral of that story is it would be very helpful to me to have an email list for the township supervisors, or the chairman of these, or auditors, or whatever the best point of contact is. That would be very helpful.
But Lauren, doesn't the auditor actually have the list?
Not an email list. It's just snail mail and phone numbers. You know, which is kind of okay, except in these situations where it's like, you know, a short window of time, and you need to get information out to everybody. It's difficult.
I don't actually even have an email list of all the townships myself. I just call, usually the clerk or the chairman, and ask for their email, and forwarded your letter that you sent to me, because I don't have a full email list either. We, on the sign-up sheets, have asked for the emails, and you can tell some do, some don't. So we'll try and figure something out, because then I feel bad for you, because I usually don't check my email all the time. And that one time I checked it, I think it was like 4 days after you sent it to me, and I was like, now what do I do?
Yeah, like, I mean, my suggestion
You can
would
text
be-
me or call me and say, Shannon, I'm emailing something to you.
Okay, well, I guess I wasn't aware that it wasn't checked regularly. Well, my suggestion to you guys would be, you know, put an email list together, you know, as best.
Why don't you do that in the auditor's office?
What's that?
Why don't you do it with the auditor's office and when you contact them?
I would think that, the Township Association would be the most obvious place for that to be compiled and shared.
Okay.
And if it was, say if it's even like 75% of the email, of the townships have email addresses, and to know who the ones are that don't, to where it's like maybe it's 10 or 15 phone calls instead of 40, you know. So that would be my request and suggestion. That would be, I think, helpful
Thank
to
you.
us.
Shannon, sir, I'm one of the clerks for our township, and the number that I give there is my cell phone number.
Okay.
So that's I'm sure that's probably the case with most people. Landlines are kind of getting to be a thing of the past. I really don't mind if he would send me a text. I don't mind it at all, and I think I might not be in the minority there.
Yeah, I guess texts are kind of, I mean, that's fine, I appreciate that, but like the benefit of the email is that like one email can be written and send it out to a whole bunch of people, broadcast, and everybody gets the same message, you know? And,
Brenda?
it's all individual messages, it's very inefficient, very time.
Okay, the thing about, okay, she's got all the phone numbers and the emails and all that stuff, but you gotta make sure that she's got the permission to give everybody's information to somebody else. I mean, if it's written on there, then I would be under the assumption that it's okay for her to share. But if there's some that aren't on there, they probably aren't on there for a reason. Just a thought.
Well, we'll have to do some investigating on it.
What do you know on that, Sir Jerry?
Well, I was gonna put my 2 cents in, but shut up for a change, but I'm not totally.
Don't shut up for a chance, help us.
So a lot of the counties, even though it's not a requirement, but it is a requirement to submit to the auditor your list of supervisors, clerks, treasurers, overseer roadways, whatever happens to be. A lot of the counties that you know, Clay County, Stutsman County, Burley County, they also ask, the auditor asks for the emails. So that the auditor has a compiled list of all supervisors, clerks, treasurers, overseer roadways, phone number, address, and emails. Now, as Brenda pointed out, once you compile the list, a little thing called the Privacy Act comes into play. And you can't just give this out willy-nilly, because the next thing you know, just like we had this congressman that got killed, they found his email address or his permanent home address online, tracked him down and killed him outside of his apartment. So when you're talking about compiling a list of Privacy Act information, phone number, address, email, that kind of stuff, it's got to be kept close to the heart, not given out willy-nilly.
Can't do that, not with the government.
Can't give it out
Anything
willy-nilly.
saved on a government computer is open for anybody to look at.
I agree, but there's supposed to be a Privacy Act that's statement on it
The
also.
only way you can do that, you have to be retracted.
It's a federal law for the Privacy Act statement that's got to be put on.
A lot of people, I mean, some people don't have email, and a lot of people don't check their email on a regular basis. Is there a way to do that? But almost everybody has a cell phone. Is there a way to do that with like a text, like if you had an email list, instead of an email list, a text list? Is there a way of doing that or not?
There's a
It
way
just
that you can
says
actually
email.
send out from an email account to phone numbers and you get like text. It's redundant.
Okay. Okay. I'm one that I don't check my email on a regular basis.
I know the whole system.
Okay, there is a way to do it, okay. You know, a text, I think more people would see a text and do that more than they would the email. I don't know. That's just my thought.
The downfall to group text messaging is that anybody that responds to that text message continues to see that thread. So
Okay.
that's the downfall to a group text.
Okay, all right.
We don't text at all.
There just would be it's like it comes from an email, so it's not a reply.
It's not threaded?
It's not, no, it would literally be, unless you hit reply all, kind of thing.
Okay.
But it comes out like it goes directly to your phone number instead of.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta move on here.
I just worked in entities where there would be a web-based, program, say at the county office, where it could send a text message, so it's not coming from, say, somebody's individual cell phone. And then the next, say so-and-so leaves their position, the next person that came in, that program would still remain, where those text messages could go out. And maybe they could go out with a sort of message like, do not reply to this. But that could be, you know, something that it wasn't, I don't think, an expensive program, but could help with, you know, you doing a mass text per se, you know, to these people that can't access email regularly as a thought, I guess.
But does the county, like if it comes from the county, they have to have a website to do this?
No, I think you could, from my understanding, so I worked at a previous financial in Bismarck, and I had, you know, a direct number that people could dial to me. And then this program had that direct number as well as my text message number. So it was a way for me to communicate with people and get Bizman ads or the vehicle they want to buy and text it to me versus having to use my personal cell phone all the time. So they could even use their 475, you know, work office direct number as where the text is coming from, but the person on the county side, the employee, would see it as just a web-based program, so they'd be able to manage that a little easier than trying to, okay, this person changed, now I gotta change the group text message on somebody's cell phone. That would get to be pretty tedious, I would think. But could be an option to look into.
We got the weed board next.
Mike's back.
Yeah, I see him. Mike, you want to speak on the weed board?
We're still operating.
Barely.
Are people taking advantage of cost share?
We've had some applications that people have called me. I don't know, I haven't talked to Kevin in a while, but I know some people have called me to ask for applications. It's out there. We would love to give people who are spraying their money. We have plenty. We want to share.
It's been getting better, hasn't it, Mike?
Yes,
Cost
yeah,
share.
we've had a lot more applications, but if you know anybody in your township who is spraying or who has a leaf problem, let them know that we offer, it has been 80% for the last 2 or 3 years on non-CRP land. It's
80% is the most the state will let us cost share.
Right. Yeah, so we're paying the max that we can. We don't cover applications, we will help cover the cost of the chemicals. But we raise so many dollars in mills for the wheat board, and the commissioners are giving us problems because we're building up too big of a bank. We're trying to spend it. The best way that we can spend it is to give it back to you guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Neither Kevin or Dee.
I'm going to give an update on the spring commissioners meeting with Township representing on April 11th. There were 32 people that showed up. So I want to thank everyone, whether you agreed or disagreed, just for showing up, because we are an organization. So thanks again for coming. Now it's county commissioners. You want to take some questions?
Well,
If you could come up here and speak to them.
I don't want to take that much time. No, just to answer your question, I think your question that you had was the Water Resource Board involved?
Yeah.
No. Simple answer, no. I talked to them last week, and they are not even aware of this. So me and Josh have a lot of disagreements. Hopefully we'll get them worked out.
Can you tell me who's on the water board?
The Water Board is Pat Lyer, Jonathan Hooper,
Wait. Okay,
and Dennis Morgan. We have talked about getting 2 more probably eventually, making a board of 5 with the water issues that we have. But this whole project started with the Crystal Springs deal, Kidder County's never been in that project as far as the feasibility study. We thought we were, but we're not. So the best thing Josh said today, the first time I've heard it come out of Houston Engineering or anybody, was we need to start from the river and we need to work this way. Best thing I ever heard today that was said. So with that being said, the Corps of Engineering, the Water Resource Board, none of these people, Burley County Commissioners, none of these people have been involved in this. DOT has never come to a meeting. The railroad has never come to a meeting. So, with that being said, we're dead in the water without these people, because you can, go ahead.
Jay Kraska, North Dakota DOT, he's on the steering committee for this project. He was at a meeting.
Which meeting?
The steering committee meeting at the Baptist camp. I have the agenda and he's in attendance.
Okay.
A railroad, we have a contract with them participating.
Why ain't they at our
Feasibility
meeting?
study.
Kidder County's not got nothing, zero. We have not received
This is a Susquehanna
anything.
County project, and you guys agreed to be on the steering committee. I went with Jerry Berquist, went to the commission and asked you guys to have a seat at the steering committee table. Just sit down and talk about it.
And we got Danny Mitlider because he was a commissioner at the time.
So did you or did you not agree to sit at the table, to take a seat at the steering committee table?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Okay,
Because we
so
want to
you-
know what's going on.
Right. We want you guys in the know to be involved. So you have been at the table. You did know about it, correct?
Know about what?
This project,
This project is a feasibility study,
correct? That's where we're at.
but you need to start at the Missouri River.
But wait,
you
you
need
just
to get
said
Burley
that
County.
The DOT wasn't never notified, BNSF has never been notified, and we're not.
They're probably notified, but they've never notified Kidder County.
And
We
you-
wanted
and
from
you just
Kidder
said
County.
Burley County Commission, which I want you to watch Dakota Access Media, August 11th. The Burley County Water Board is filmed, and Mike Gunch presents in front of them, and they take an official stance. They're not for or against it until it goes to projects.
So, so the deal is I met with railroad. This is how we don't agree. I met with railroad. I met with 4 people at the Pettibone exit. And they said as long as they can build up that railroad, they're gonna continue to build it because the feasibility study they did was not feasible enough to drain water into Kidder County. It's exact words.
Yeah, alone. They can't do it alone.
And
Matter of fact,
they
if
haven't
would've
showed us
raised-
that they're even coming.
If they would have raised the ballast, the TQL came out 6 inches like they were going to, they'd be underwater. We told them to go 2 feet based on our forecasting.
So
And that's what they went.
we could argue all day and I'm just pointing out the points that we have.
But when you're making statements that are false,
They're
that
not.
sets the tone for the rest of the group.
Have we not asked for this information? Have we gotten it? No.
What information?
From DOT that they're involved. DOT has never come to one of our meetings. Railroad has never showed up at our meetings. The
That's-
Water Reserve Board has not, they weren't even notified. I was sitting up in Bismarck at association, county association meeting. I talked to the Water Resource Board. While I was talking to them, Houston Engineer was standing there listening. And you can ask Houston Engineer where you're subbed under. And they said that they had no knowledge that this was going on.
When was
Zero.
this?
Can I take a minute here? This belongs in the commissioners' meeting. What you guys are discussing, what they want to know, what I wanted to know is what is the mill levy that the water board, has it ever increased to what? Because they don't have any funds to work with.
Our water board and the commissioners, Kidder County Commissioners and the water board wrote Stutzman County a letter. In the letter, we said that we are not in favor because we got our issues ourselves, we got Horsehead, I could go on and on. We got all these lakes that we have to worry about in Kidder County. We have to worry about what we have in Kidder County.
No,
So-
that ain't what I'm
So we
asking.
wrote them a letter, and we said that we are not interested. The Water Board voted no. Kidder County Commissioners voted no. Stutzman County Water Board voted no. And here we sit.
Stutzman County Water Board voted no to ask for additional funding in the form of mill levies.
They
That's what they
voted,
voted no on.
they voted no, and Stutzman County
And that's-
Commissioners relieved them of their duties.
Daryl, can I interject?
Yep.
I'm Mike Kiley. I'm one of the first landowners involved with either the dumping of water from Crystal Springs or the dumping of water from Horsehead. It will not happen. Understand, Josh? Just forget it. It's not gonna happen. I say so.
Until we get all these people involved. If we dump water into Burley County without Burley County knowing, think about imagine what's gonna happen to Kidder County.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but he's also saying there's a study. That's all that's going on is a study.
Right.
So they're asking to get the study done. I sat through the meeting at the community building part of it.
$24.5 million to do this project. $240,000 to $265,000 to do a pumping station every year. Maintenance, $240,000 to $265,000. Nobody knows who's going to pay for it.
I understood that.
That gets covered in the preliminary engineering report. You guys want the $40 million answers on a $200,000 budget in a feasibility study. Feasibility study is step one in a 5-phase process.
I'm telling you, it's not feasible.
Okay?
So we got, this is where it's all going on, and this is
So
where
let
it can,
me ask you this. Crystal Springs off the table. You decided yourself. You have your issues with Horsehead and Elkline down the street, and possibly Isabel and Sibley, and Mike already has issues.
I don't really.
So, well, you can kiss the railroad getting fixed goodbye. That's off the table. I'll call them tomorrow.
Railroad.
Yeah, I was gonna have them fixed, put in $1 million to fix a culvert to get water out of your land. But forget that. I wanna know what you're gonna do for your townships to
Josh,
alleviate
where
the
are
water
you
issue.
getting this stuff from?
Because I was on the railroad track, we did a hold on the rail coming out of Fort Worth, and I was on the rail, physically on the track with the roadmaster while we put a hold on the rail. And then we released the track after I got done doing my geotechnical analysis of the quicksand that's right on the south edge of that rail line.
well, so we were advised by our engineer, Vote Engineering, to leave it alone. Our engineers even told us, our engineer, we have Vote Engineering, they've got Houston Engineering. And we were advised also, we're advised because, first of all, this project was basically kind of talked about a 10 by 20 box culverts of water coming, a creek, a big creek. Then it went down to 5 CFs. 5 CFs is 400, well, 1 CF is 444 gallons a minute. Take that times 5. Last meeting in Steel at the community, it was 20 CFs. 20 CFs is approximately 8,890 gallons, say 9,000 gallons. A 24-inch culvert could take as high as 18,000 gallons of water per minute. My big deal is, if you take 18,000, we're only going to take 9,000, that's about a 12-inch culvert. You can't tell me for a moment that there's only one 12-inch culvert coming in from Crystal Springs, Stink Lake, Bruley Lake, and the surrounding bodies of water. If that's all it is, it's nothing. I can tell you right now, we've probably got 10, 12 culverts coming in to Horsehead, 24-inch. There's one 4 foot. You can't get rid of all that water at Horsehead with one 12-inch culvert. That's what they're telling us right now. If that amount